That's
Nothing
fine.
embarrassing from now on.
Stop it, okay? Okay.
Okay. So the guys have been doing a lot of work
Right?
refining your content. It's still quite quiet, isn't it?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it is surprisingly for the size of the microphone. I hear you very quietly.
I'm way up on volume, so hang on.
Yeah, I wonder. I think maybe it's an RSI input.
If I go
I don't
any
know.
higher, I'm going to start feedback.
It's okay. We can still hear you, so it's fine. Wait, I lost you now. So there you go.
Gain up. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, better.
It's better.
Yeah, okay. Gain up.
So I guess there were three kind of balls in the air for the last few days. One was the content and refining and kind of getting it to a flow that we think would work.
Yep.
Another element was to kind of think of metaphors that would help explain it and make it more impactful.
Yep.
And the third one is the look and feel that would kind of hold everything together. So no, none of them is finished. It's all work in progress, but it's great to have you now and to get your input on all of what we've done.
Great.
And unlock some of those clarities in your mind and bring it to the table. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we're kind of saying we're going to start with the content.
Yeah.
Then we look at metaphors and then at the look and feel.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share the screen. Yeah, we put it all in PowerPoint again.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just easier to move stuff around when you're looking.
Of course,
Yeah. I can bring it here.
Oh yeah, when?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, will I start?
Yeah,
Do you want to start?
I can.
Yeah.
So one of the things I guess that we kind of really looked at was the first hook, the title, and we kind of felt that what is GDPR? It's not necessarily a kind of what will catch.
Totally agree. Yeah. Totally agree. Like I'm reading as you're talking. So to keep calm and collaborate, because that's actually a phrase I used yesterday with someone.
Oh, great! We were actually really happy about your presentation.
Yeah, your presentation, definitely. Like, was that done after our session or before?
After, of course.
So proud. Really?
Yeah, I'm okay with PowerPoint. I'm the worst kind of customer. I think I know what I'm doing visually. So
no, but it was it was really clear.
Yeah,
like, a lot clearer than like anything that we've seen before. So
Yeah.
there was definitely a jump in how you communicate.
Absolutely, yeah. So the keep calm and the nothing will blow up, and it's not a ticking bomb is a phrase that I've been using repeatedly. So I do like keep calm and collaborate.
And when you look at the keep calm posters, there is, it's a, how do you call it, a meme?
It's a meme, yeah, but it's also recognizable. So
yeah. So that's definitely something that can be incorporated into the visual and into the kind of the language of it.
Yeah.
So okay.
Second time, yeah.
And I'm going to make it a bit bigger so it's easier to read. Okay.
I have a big screen here, so it's okay. Yeah, I can see it.
The second part is more.
It's more need to be edited. No?
Yeah. There's more.
Second part, the second part is it's a tricky one.
Yeah.
That second part could be seen as a sales pitch too much if we get the wording wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So but marker is optional for now if we're running out of visual space. So
but I guess the key point is that keep calm. It's not about technology. It is about process. Now you call it process, and I wonder, is it business? I say business process.
Business process, yes. So I had that clarity with someone yesterday. So the business process, comma legal, And then technology, yeah,
and technology combined to protect personal data. GDPR applies to any organization that handles personal data of EU residents. Super clear.
Yep, that's it.
I know what it is. I know what it's not. Here though, I guess, like if we say the key thing is to collaborate, what I felt like, I guess, is like when you talk to the leader, like to the business, I'm guessing that you're talking to either one of the parties or the business owner.
Yeah.
That there still need to be some, like, I think I get that, and like
I know what you're saying. Let me tell you what I ran into yesterday.
Yeah.
When I
Okay, great.
this yesterday was I met the head of internal audit and the head of IT. Both of them knew the problem. Neither wanted to take the responsibility, and neither had the budget.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a challenge when you're selling, but also it's hard to point out to someone that they need to do something about that if the business hasn't given a budget. So I get the intent of this paragraph. I guess we have to figure out how we would word it. Could it be more direct saying don't take it on alone? This won't. So you saw my tagline in my presentation from the Data Protection Commissioner, which was very harsh. It's not going to go away. Business has to change. There's big fines. There has to be a nicer way of saying that.
Yeah.
So it won't go away.
So let's see if I understand correctly. Okay, and I'm just going to say it like super as clear as I can say, and it's not for this presentation, but just so as long as we know we're on the same page. So the person who has the budget and will always have the budget is the business owner.
They either have it already and they identify with the problem, or I have
they
to
need to create it.
Or they'll have to create the budget, yeah.
But did you ever see a time where the marketing or the audit or the IT had the budget for that level of change?
No. So
they shouldn't have as well.
No, they don't. It's not in budget at the moment. So part of this is the education of how you would get it in budget. And the whole idea of the initial assessment and the gap analysis is that it would be something that I could probably convince them to put budget to. And at the end of it, then it's a bigger spend. So the incremental sell. But the points, remember we did the 3 personalities of it's not my problem. That's so actively what I'm finding. It's not funny.
I'm wondering, right? How about, like, like again, contradict me if you feel it's wrong. If we define the roles of each of those people, because it's like like I would kind of say it in my simple way, like if you're the business owner, your job is to allocate a budget and to make sure that the process that this process is owned and taken care of.
Totally agree. But that's exactly it. Is that it's the business.
If you're marketing, you need like your job is to become aware of the projects that you're involved in, that all data. If you're the audit, you need to put processes and procedures for making sure that your company is compliant. If you're IT, start researching for the possible IT solutions that are out there. But
that's it, Naomi.
Okay, so then like that's for me, then it answers every person that is like looking at it. Like this is the key 4 partners you're supposed to be. And then like there's a question, who is the person who's going to hold the process? It's up to you as long as it's get done.
You could start with a question, could you? Could you start with the question? Who is going to address, or I'll leave the wording up to you guys because I think you get what I mean.
It's a collaborative process. So.
Yeah, you start with the question. You explain it has to be collaborative across the board and responsibility.
So how would you say to phrase the question?
Who is responsible? Is it, or who is in charge, or
responsible for
GDPR compliance?
Like essentially it's the business owner, no?
It's each business owner in theory. So for every business process where there is personally identifiable data, then that's it. Business owners are responsible, and it's not just an IT problem. So so the CIO of the company I met yesterday said, look, it's not my responsibility, and while I might have some budget, I don't want to put that budget out there because then I take responsibility.
Yeah.
The head of audit said, well, this is new to us. We normally just do financial audit. I have no budget. Now they're going to weigh and they're going to see if they can come up with some budget, and it's an incremental upsell. But I think you could simplify it as everyone is responsible in the business, you know.
But that's what I challenge you. I don't think it's true.
Really?
I think there's a hierarchy of responsibility.
Well, ultimately, fines will be levied against the executive team,
yeah.
and even down to head of marketing, head of, you know.
But maybe I'm looking at it too simplistically. But for me, it's there's still going to be a CEO.
Yeah, true. Well, I think maybe I think you know what I'm trying to say, and I think we're both in agreement on it. So I don't mind what we say in this. It's as long as we get across the message that you have to collaborate, it won't go away.
No, but see, this is what I question, is that I don't think that that's the message from the client perspective. I think it's like they have a problem that it's kind of like when you tell me collaborate, I'm like, yeah, but it's like you can't have two kings to one crown.
So technically, if you don't have a data protection officer, you're supposed to appoint one, and they are supposed to drive compliance and be responsible. They don't. So data protection officer is responsible for all of the compliance. They don't fill in the information. They're not the business process owner, but the data protection officer is responsible. And then you could say, yeah, the data protection officer can come from any department or even externally. In big companies, it's supposed to be an individual who has seniority and reports directly into the highest authority and can't be.
So let's say that. That's very clear. So it's like, who's responsible? Yeah. Everyone. Like the CEO, marketing, audit, and
IT. Yeah, and IT.
The first step.
First step is to appoint a data protection officer.
To appoint. Will we capitalize that? Like it's a thing?
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is a thing. It is a role or
officer. Wait.
And then full stop. I would say then the.
I just put the DPO.
DPO, yeah.
DPO. They can come from any department of your business, or just any department, or do we need of your business?
So technically, they're supposed to be.
They are senior.
They are a senior, yeah. I'll send you. Let me see. Hang on, I'll dig it up now. I might have it here. Hang on. There's a phrase that was put forward by the Data Protection Commissioner yesterday. Let me get it now. GDPR guidelines. Designation of the GDPR.
How would you say external contractor, external service, external
service or consultant? I'll find, as I'm looking at my screen, the role of the DPO from. The thing about it all, Naomi, is that the DPO drives the compliance, but they're not responsible for compliance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you appoint to
stakeholders.
Drive.
Yeah, it's the stakeholders that are compliant.
The compliance process or the compliance?
Just compliance, I think.
The compliance. Okay.
You don't need to make the sentences big. I generally try.
Okay.
They're a senior member of your business. Yeah.
They are a senior member of your business, and they can come from any department. Or
they can also be an external, yeah.
or
I dropped that they can come from any
okay.
It's supposed to be highly skilled.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a senior member of your business, and I think they need to be. It talks about subject matter experts. What have we got at the moment? First step is they're a senior member of your business.
External consultant with like TPO qualification, like.
Yeah, with DPO qualifications. Yeah. I think you could just look at that paragraph. Who's responsible? The CEO, marketing, audit, and IT. You'd have to say all business stakeholders are responsible.
When you say this was like,
do you want just this? Like, is it better?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, keep it short. All business stakeholders are responsible, and then who drives compliance or who won't be compliant? You know, who can help you be compliant, or how do you be?
No, I like the who drive. Who is going to drive? Who is it? Who will drive your compliance? You know?
Who will drive your compliance process?
So, but I think I would. For me, it's not another question. For me, it's like I would expect it under the same answer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like who is responsible? All business stakeholders are responsible. The driver is a data.
And then you put the last part of it.
So if you can do this, like the compliance driver is an appointed data protection officer.
Yeah.
The DPO is a senior member of your business or an external consultant with a DPO qualifications.
Yes. Short and sweet. Yeah. I like the short, sharp sentences that don't get too long. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So this can still go, I think
so.
First,
yeah.
In the first page. So, okay. Great. Second page. Like we change practical from pragmatic.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. 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 In order to be ready for May 2018, you need to, maybe there's another way to say it, but it's like
you need to take a risk-based approach.
So, like we talked about this at length.
Mm-hmm.
Does that do you mean that they need to prioritize?
I think in anybody who's in compliance will understand risk-based approach. I think hearing you say prioritize. Prioritize is a more universal phrase. Let's go with that.
Like my question is, when we asked it was like, do you mean that there is a risk to my business and I need to mitigate the risks? What do you mean? Like if I'm reading this and I'm not from compliance, what do I understand?
So I think that's what I'm agreeing with you now on as you said it to me that if you're in compliance you'll understand, but prioritize it lines up with practical.
Okay.
The second sentence.
Next bit is still keeping it's trying to keep the risk element, but maybe it's not.
No, it won't work. You can't say that in a legal context. This is ongoing. So I think you could just leave it in order to be ready for May 2018. You need to prioritize.
Okay.
Even just stop at that.
Yeah.
The make yourself safe, it doesn't work because you're never safe from compliance. It's ongoing.
Okay.
The reason I've split them out the way they are is they are the highest risk. Yes, so urgent would make sense. Yeah, urgent. And there were phrases I think we said was must do now.
Yeah.
But I think urgent makes sense.
Yeah. So then, like we're saying something like. So I don't know if we need to kind of introduce this.
Yeah, here are the three high level steps, or the 3 steps, or the whatever. Here is the practical approach.
So it's kind of like, this is our a recommended division, or like a breakdown.
This is the approach. Look at the title: a practical approach to GDPR compliance. This is the approach we recommend, or
okay. Urgent. How did we say? Soon.
Yeah.
And so there's no finally. So it's. Do
you know? I think you could just do 1, 2, 3, or do you think there's a title required on each one? Because if you're doing a graphic with it, I don't know.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you. Where, because you had a heading for the second bit, which said stuff that needs to happen before May 2018.
Yeah.
Is it stuff that needs to be done, or do you start it before?
You need to have, technically, all of this needs to be in place before May 2018. But the practicalities are, you probably won't have everything. Definitely points 1 and 2 need to be done. Because they're the process and the legal.
So for me, I
don't know if urgent, soon, later works, but it's look, we can go with some sort of headings, and I can get some feedback.
You can check it exactly. So what are we thinking here?
So urgent, soon, and before May 8th. So I think the final one has to be, point 3 has to be before May 18th. Because I can't suggest that.
Yeah, so this is what we say. Like, see, this was like this. This was.
Oh, that was the marker. Yeah.
Yeah, so this can be kind of a timeline where, like, this is now.
Yeah. So why don't you change it to now? Soon.
Yeah. Later.
Later, and then, but make sure the May 18 is after later, because I know you can skip some of the security controls, but I could never put that on paper. I'd be shot.
Yeah. No, but then it's like, so this is, it's kind of like.
Yeah, no, I like the timeline, because it's a nice way of showing a deadline without having a doomsday clock, which is my pet hate at the moment.
This is very annoying.
It's good to see someone else using PowerPoint for this type of stuff.
It's horrible.
You need to use it in Windows. That's why I stopped using a Mac.
This is terrible. Why? Why is this? Why?
Because I don't know. It's a smart shape, is it?
Okay, Gavin, this is all your fault, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's like it's showing that this is kind of, this is in
is
soon, and this is happening after May 18.
Well, that it has to go. The later has to be before May 18.
Yeah.
I know in being realistic, it can come afterwards, but I can't state that in literature that it's okay to not have.
I get you now. I thought you meant the first 2 has to be before.
No. Well, if somebody asks me to be more practical, I will say yes, but you could never write it down.
Okay.
What do you think of the quote, Rome wasn't built in a day?
Instead of, you can't change everything in one go. That was your
word. We pulled
words.
that from your presentation. And we really liked it because it's
visual.
Yeah.
You can play with either, like they both mean the same thing.
Yeah, the Rome is a bit cliched, but it is something I would say. There's a difference what you say and
what you put on
what you write. Yeah, so I can take more risks when you're verbal, but less when you put it in print or digital.
You want to test it and see how people react?
The problem with that analogy is you get all sorts of things, but the fall of Rome.
Well, but that's the risk. That's you talking about the risk without talking about the risk.
Yeah. And there's all sorts of connotations to Caesar. Have a think about it.
No, but this is good because it was like Eleanor was saying, it was burnt. It wasn't built in a day, but it was burnt in a day. So it's like if you ignore this.
Well, you might have to put the other side of it. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was destroyed in a day. No, we couldn't do that.
No. This is good.
Go with it, and let's see. Let's see.
It's like, because I know to change. Like it can be like replaced with this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, actually, I'm going to jump to the next one because we strategically decided to have it.
Yeah.
We moved stuff around, okay?
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, or else if still not engaged in recording, everyone involved protection. Yeah, love it. Simple. Yeah.
In step 1, that they're like the first 2 bullet points are underlined. I just wanted to make sure, where's the difference between those? Is that the 3 steps for the client, or is it 3 steps for you?
For me, I would drive those through the workshop and through discovery and questionnaires. So that's an output.
And what happens in the second, identification of the business process? Like, how is that different than the first?
So the first workshop is just a general where you educate on the aspect of PR, so then everybody is on the same page. So, okay, now I've got a group of people speaking the same language and using the same terms. Once we've done that, then we get into the business processes and identify what's impacted. And then we look at the resources. So you can't go straight to resource required without.
I get it.
Yeah. Generally, the way we've discussed phrases and what it means to different people, you got to do a workshop to make sure that everybody uses the same phrases and technology to say the same thing.
And it is literally 2 occasions you meet, or the second one is
It'll vary, to be honest with you. It's so, it depends on how you sell it. If you can get it, the more you can price up, the longer the session is. But generally, I would see this as a 1-day workshop with a series of questionnaires and follow-on conversations before you finally create.
Okay. So if I made a little change there, so I just call it, so this is a data protection workshop.
Yeah.
Like just something tangible for them to grab, This is
a discovery process.
Discovery process?
I have collateral for that as well, yeah.
And then how would we make the last one?
I wonder, do we drop it and just move to point 2? You've just even removed it. Actually, yeah, no, I like that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Point 2 looks big, but
it's okay because that can be visualized. Like we were talking about it, if to keep it or not. And it's like, I actually think that for me,
critical. That's everything that I do. The actual detail and the meat and everything I've created is around. Particularly if you look at those first 3, that's where you go back to what you need to do now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I think it's like you have a methodology. Yeah, that's the methodology. This is our IP. This is our methodology. We're going to tick all of those boxes. I'm like, I feel okay. He has his thing behind. Like he has his thing. Yeah. So, okay, and then the action plan is more. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
Can I just ask one question about this data protection officers? Does it always need to say data protection officer as a service? Because we put here now. Data protection officer is outsourced data protection officers. That's fine. Okay, good. Just to make sure. I think I nearly prefer that because the as a service is overused. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I use it in jokes. I call it failure as a service. Yeah. Great.
Cool. So then here, this way we think it's just a big picture of you, smiling. No. No. At Halloween, yes, but not now. No. No. This can be quite short. I have a couple of logos to send through. I've accredited with IVI and another. So you changed it there, but where was that? Where did you say you changed it?
This thing.
Let me guess.
Officer. Oh, is there a visual you have for your certification?
But this is I guess for me it's a bit confusing. So we are we also offer discounted data, the outsourced data. But then here you're saying
we need, yeah, the let me see if I can get a logo for this.
can we say we hold a certificate of data protection officer, or we are
not everybody will have that I'm working with, so that's my challenge. So
it's not as a service though.
We are experienced data protection professionals or something like that. I'm a member of a couple of associations, so hang on. I'm trying to find logos. Okay, I'll just give you the link to the company, or the. Let me see if I can get it in Google.
Can we just say our so legal and technology certificate as well as full certification of DPO certification. And then we don't need this?
Yeah.
Just sending you through a couple of logos now. Hang on. Okay, there's some logos gone through there.
So I don't know, actually, like this is something that we might like, because like this is so this.
I wonder if the who we are can fit as a subsection on a page. Sorry, I'm just blocking the whole screen with my hands pointing. I wonder if the who we are needs to be that big.
It's just like, I guess what we were worried, like it was here before, but we were worried that it's very crowded page. So we're trying to separate to see.
The way I'm selling this though is I'm not going to people that don't know me.
Okay.
So it's not going up in a billboard and hoping that everybody will understand. Yeah. It's you know, just by the way I sell and so on, it's going to go to less. So most of the time people are saying, so who are you working with, Gavin, because you couldn't possibly do do everything. But the we is important because it shows that I've got somebody else working with me. Yeah. So, and the logos I've sent through are the academic body that I'm working with, which is the IVI, and then I've joined the industry search professionals. So
can you put clients logos or no?
No, can't put client logos, but I can put the logo that I've just sent through, which are the Independent Association for Privacy Professionals, and then the academic body I'm working with. In other words, I have partner agreements with these guys, and there's one other I want to send through. One Trust.
So and can you kind of any clients indications?
No, I can't at this stage. I'm just starting, Naomi, so I'm
yeah.
gonna wait.
So just keep an eye for them.
Yeah.
So the academic, what do you think?
The IVI one I've sent through, I think we can use. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to write something about that?
Not yet. No. They're still creating their content. So.
Okay, so then it's not like there's no sentence about it, but it's just it's in the logo.
Yeah, just logos. Yeah, it'll either mean something or it won't. There's one other email with a logo. I don't know if you got the last two logos.
You're sending it to me, yeah? So.
Yeah. No, sorry, I went to Marina.
We got them. No, that's perfect. We got them. Yeah.
So they're the three. Essentially, one other one now. They're the three companies that I have partnership agreements with, and I'm a member of the associations. So.
Okay.
So I can use them. I'm, contractually bound by their rules or whatever else. Drop the underline on the full DPO certification. I think you just say it. It doesn't need to be.
Or it can be like, we can do it the same as
Yeah, play around with that. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So, but basically that's the text. Now, in this one, like, what is the call for action? What
the call for action is give me some money, but beyond that, it's to
give me the money.
Yeah, I would put that.
Yeah, just a big picture of a dollar sign. It probably would be to reach out to I don't know what phrase. This is where this hard sell can be bad. I would normally say talk to us or talk to me about how to start on the road to compliance. The journey, or whatever other analogy or phrase that works, yeah. To compliance, yeah.
And then your phone number, your
email address and phone number, yeah. You can be specific with my name as well, so you know, it's fine. Obviously my logo would be in it as well, of course, or on the page.
Yeah. So do you want any, like, there's no website?
No. To be honest with you, I'm going to start just with this as an investment and see.
Yeah.
I had a team of people and I was looking for, you'd be using Google Analytics and everything, but for this, I'm literally just doing direct sales.
Yeah. So
the partners I have are One Trust, capital O, capital T.
So this is the partners, is it?
Yeah. So the partners I have are One Trust, Theory, yeah. And then IAPP, and then the IVI.
Okay, and they are another partner.
Yeah. And you have the 3 logos for those. I don't know if they're the right resolution, but you can.
Yeah. Okay. The girls can. Yeah.
You'll find better ones.
Mm-hmm.
Any, like, do you want, like, is there any quote or anything else that can kind of like?
No, I think look. I'll measure sentiment. I'll get it out to people and see what they think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the wording and the phrases. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Great.
Would you like to have that as a PowerPoint, or would I send it to you as a PDF?
I'm happy enough with the wording now. Just go with it as is and turn it into incorporate it with the visuals.
Great.
Cool.
No point turning it on. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Because we'll get another edit. So
yeah. Exactly. So, but I think that's good enough now to put into the.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Great. So
can we bring up? Oh God, I had it open somewhere, but now I can't see.
It's not, which one, the document, not in the Finder?
Is it? Oh yeah, just go back a little bit. One folder, yeah, to create. Which one is it?
Look and feel an icon.
I just read it.
I know where you are.
No, it's not in the super. It's in projects, infographic experts. In experts. Okay, look and feel. Okay. There's 3 JPEGs then.
Okay.
So there's 2 options. Just general look and feel.
Yeah.
Ignore the content and the flow, because we're going to fit that to the way.
Of course, yeah.
The new content. It's just to give you a general impression.
So I'm just seeing the PowerPoint at the moment.
Oh yeah, because I can. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah. I might keep it on the. Because it changes it. Okay, it's easier to see this way. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So this is option 1.
So this is really keeping with your own logo and taking all the colors and the inspiration of that from that, and using different shades and kind of tints of that.
Yep.
So it's very unified.
So it looks very unified. The only thing that immediately I draw my eye to is the logo colors, which would originally be on white, don't quite sit in the top black banner.
Yes. Yeah.
They jar that grey.
It will actually be different to that.
But the vector graphics, the palette, and so on is good.
Okay.
If you're going to go, I would say that as a dark scheme, yeah, that works well.
So that's more in keeping with the image that we were originally looking at a few days ago.
And then this is another option?
Yeah, this one is more in keeping with the one we showed you on Pinterest. When you were here on the meeting with us, we talked about bringing in that kind of yellow, the strong yellow color, in addition to the others.
Don't know. What do you think? Does the yellow work? Not sure. I mean, the image technology legal process, as a unification looks good. That type of thing looks good. I don't know about the yellow background. Doesn't quite work with the green.
I guess for me, I like this. It's very clear. It's pleasant to look.
Yeah, I think
organized.
It's visual. It's clear. It's bright.
No, definitely. It's welcome. It's welcoming.
Welcoming. The graphics are fine.
I'm looking, I guess, a little bit to maybe not specifically in this balance, but and maybe not with the yellow background, but something to give it a bit of a kick, a little bit of a to come out a little bit. So,
I think you're right. The first one probably is. If you go back to the dark one, the kick for me might be white.
Moving this, for example, to white.
Yeah, to white, and moving the white shade to
gray.
Yes. Might give it the kick. That's originally why I went white, grey, and green, and the green was the kick. The white was the plain palette.
I would like to kind of see this one with just say the star in yellow. Yeah, just tiny bit in yellow. The key.
Small bit, maybe slightly darker, yes.
Oh yeah, so there's another page.
It kind of shows it better when there's small parts kind of picked out in yellow rather than large graphics.
Yeah.
I don't know about the two. I agree on the yellow there. I don't know about the two-tone background.
Yeah, that's the kind of
okay. Okay, that can be played with. Yeah.
Do you remember? So I think its primary is digital PDF screen resolution, but then I'm thinking about the practicalities of printing as well. So if it's too
all of this is fine. This is okay.
Yeah. I think so. So the one that stands out is the first one. Just the only thing that originally that caught my eye was that the logo doesn't work on the dark background.
Yeah.
And maybe if it was all white, you brought in the yellow as an accent, would probably make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So keeping the green is the main color.
I guess here those are really jumping out. Where
no, it's not jumping out.
Here it's actually see it. Here it's it's kind of calm. We just bring it another dimension. It's not
just bringing in the kind of slope of the logo to kind of the M and the logo really unify it. But in the second one, can you go back to that? Even though I know the background color is wrong, when it's very faint, it kind of just frames the image.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if it's very faint, it works well. Just the yellow hint to it doesn't quite. So
yeah.
And what do you think about that? Kind of using the cogwheels as kind of a metaphor for.
I like the idea, but I'm not sure about the actual quality of the image itself. It's very so the internal pictures are good. The cogs the teeth are too long. It just looks too stock.
Okay, all right, I get you. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It looks like So if you look at the quality,
as a metaphor, do you think it could work? Not the quality of the image, but as a metaphor of someone holding kind of cogs together, Like
collaboration, yeah, it depends on what the three cogs. I think that it would be three cogs. It'd be business, process, legal, and technology. Each are different enough that you could have a good internal logo. So business process would have its own imagery, as would legal and as would technology.
Maybe do you need a person actually? Like maybe we don't need a person holding. Maybe it's 4 cogs.
Could just be. I think it's probably 3 cogs: business, process, legal, and technology.
Can you go?
Oh, I think we had the 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So business, process, legal, technology. So flip it around. So
internal
logos make sense. So I see that it's process. It's definitely legal. It's definitely technology.
So this is better than this one. This is better than this one.
Yes. Yeah.
The cogs though are too stock. They don't look like a graphic. Look at that some. They just look
too heavy, like the too kind of bulky.
Yeah, they look like smart art, clip art thing compared to the quality of the insets.
Okay, maybe more
scroll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
More fine. Yeah.
All the other ones are fine. While they're too palette, they're
very kind of nice. This works really nice.
Exactly.
The mix of the shape and the lines and.
They scream quality, to be honest, as does everything here. Look, everything there is very clearly graphical and thought on, and not just a shape. There's more detail on the cog to match with the rest.
Sure, because cogs are actually beautiful.
Yeah, we looked at some. Yeah, I mean a real cog. So there's the grey one in the middle there. If you go back to that, Naomi.
This one.
The search. See that one there? That's a 2-tone cog. It looks like a cog.
Oh yeah.
But I think the icons are going to be in the
icon will get in the way, I know, but if you look at that as a quality and level of detail, more detail in that as a cog than
picking out the detail in the actual cog.
2 levels of detail generally.
Yeah.
But again, match all that other iconography that you have there. So and
you can add more cogs actually between them.
Yeah,
would make sense to build it out. And just text in the others. So it needs a bit more detail. Bulb, like the atom icon, the scroll. They all had levels of detail and were light.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're gonna go with cogs, put the time in the cogs.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's make it into a good image.
Yeah.
Show off the cogs.
Show off the cogs.
Yeah, see that atom logo is great. There's a bit of movement in it. There's detail. The scroll is good. The screen is good. Light bulb. It's all good. Font is good as well. I think maybe brighten it up a bit with more white or whatever. Flip that around.
Yeah. Okay.
You could see from my PowerPoint slide that I generally use white and simple and light colors. Just makes it last longer in my mind, and less subjective. But yeah, everything else there is great.
Great. Fantastic.
I have a call I need to jump on at 4.
Yeah, no, I think we're done.
Yeah.
How long and what is next steps? So remember I said I'd really love to have this out and actively selling it in the market by the end of the month. So we are, where are we now? We are 20th. Are we for first draft? When would you hope to have first draft to me?
Monday evening.
Okay, great. So let me try and we slot in something for Tuesday to give you time.
Yeah.
I won't be here, but the girls, you can work away with the girls.
We're here.
I'll be looking at it remotely, but
it's fine. It gives you time. Look, I'd rather that you're happy that you've given me a first draft that I can measure sentiment with. If you feel like throwing things my way in the short term, just to get kind of short feedback, happy to do that as well.
Great.
That's fantastic, Gavin.
Guys, brilliant.
I'd like to work with you. Might send clients to get trained by you, to be good clients.
Famous last words, Naomi. Famous last words. Guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Gavin.
Bye.